Okay, I got it. Ha, ha. Oh no! Oh no! All right, let's get going with our first one. Remember, there's loads of kitchen gadget videos. I've been doing them for years. If you want to check out the playlist at the end of this video, what do you think this is? I mean, I actually got this for £1 online from China, and that looks like it could break at any moment. This bit here is very weak. This is an egg cracker, and it's these pincers that we'll push in. Okay, that feels really good. And we should be able to crack our egg open. I'm not going to do that anymore because that genuinely looks so weak. Okay, so I've got a large egg there. We'll stick it in. Oh, that's nice and snug, isn't it? Will that close? Oh yes, and there are, I'm not sure if you can see, there's little feet there. They look like they could clip in. Should we push it? Ooh, let's do it like this. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. And now I turn. Oh my word. This was ridiculously cheap. You can see why, because the quality is shocking. But that was insanely easy. That's really good. I mean, I've just given it a wash, and the only thing I would say is these go down quite deep, so the yolk tends to get split every time, which is not ideal for another egg gadget I've got in a minute, but we'll go to something completely different. So what do you think this is? It's not just a baking tray. In fact, I ordered this, and it's arrived scratched. I should make a complaint. I think it could be someone that's bought this and been like, don't like that. Oh, and there's 4 of them, plus this thing that if I hold it like this can make you feel like you're inside an oven, which incidentally is where this goes. Check this out. So what we do is take this. Now this, it's got a little latch here so we can hook it on to there like that. See, that is so rigid. But what we've got is shelves. There's different variations of these. Some have like loose bottoms, some have a higher lip. But this is basically a budget multi-chef cooker. Primarily for pizza, which is how we're gonna test it. So I'm just preheating my oven, and normally when I use the oven at the moment, everyone's like, can you use an air fryer? No, I don't think that would fit in most air fryers, unfortunately. However, if there were smaller ones, of course. So I got the same type of pepperoni pizza 4 times here. Why the same type? Well, if we put it in the oven, we can see the difference of all the shelves and how it acts. Why pepperoni? Well, because I like it. But also the pepperoni on the top compared to the bottom layer could be a massive difference because we will do the same cooking time. I do feel sorry for the one on the bottom shelf, to be honest. But obviously in reality, like, kind of like when you rotate something in the oven or change shelves if you're cooking multiple things, you could do that. So we got to give it some slack. And, oh yeah, my hands are in a 200C oven. Brilliant. I've got the pizza stone at the bottom as well going, all right, guys? Love your work. Oh, the heat coming out. Okay, I got it. Ha. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The bracket came off the thing. Oh, God. The annoying thing for me is my oven will not turn off. I've tried to turn it off, but I need to shut the door to make it turn off. But I'm going to squish a load of pepperoni in the door. Oh my word. Oh, right. Oh, and a load of pepperoni stuck down the joint. Oh, I'm going to have to worry about that off camera. Yes. Can you see the latch on the shelf has popped off during baking? Oh my word. I had to tilt it backwards. Oh, no. Okay, so that is pizza number 1, which, like a pineapple upside down cake of pizza. So there we go. That was actually quite good. We got a little bit of charring, good colour, nice deep colour in the pepperoni. This was the second shelf down, so not too bad. You can see where it's got perhaps a little bit of heat exposed on one bit, but it's just a little strip. I wonder if that's the bit where the other top shelf was like peeping out. So that does need to go again. Third shelf, even worse. Cheese is melted, but not much colour at all. And bizarrely, the bottom shelf, perhaps that's because of the fan circulating, it might be the bottom part, there's actually more oil showing on that. So I'm going to put what was on the bottom one on the second shelf. Hope you're keeping up. The third one on the top shelf. The second, I've completely lost my track. Yeah, this was the second one that was nearly done on the third shelf. So that the bottom shelf, which is, we think has good priority, more than the second and third one, we'll put these. All right, clean the oven as best I can. That's back up to 200C, but that latch, the heat might have just made it go boom. I don't think the fan in my oven is that powerful. I don't know. Do you want some pepperoni that's not been on the floor? Okay. Hello, it's Barry from 2 Weeks Later. I'm just jumping into this video and it is gadget related. If you wouldn't mind, there's a survey that I'd love you to fill out. Thank you to everyone that's filled it out so far. The link is in the video description, in the pinned comment, and there might be a card in the video. Please fill it out if you can. I'd massively appreciate it. Cheers. Oh my gosh, it's done it again. There is at least one of the pizzas. It's the top one again. It is the top one. Oh my gosh. But before I do that, look, I've just found a random bit of... Oh my gosh. Pepper, all right, let me tidy that up. It's worth noting that this had absolutely terrible reviews, by the way. Oh my word! Look! It saved itself. It collapsed on itself. Oh my, look! This is blooming bonkers. I mean, to be fair, that pizza's done. This one's nearly done. That was on the second shelf. I forget where that originated. Was that on the bottom one? No, that was the third one, wasn't it? No, that was the third one. Look at the meatballs, yes! And this is the one that we put at the bottom, which was the second one? Nearly there. Like the one on the top, brilliant. It's very flimsy. But see, all this just wants to like pull forward. But we can't deny, the ones that are on the top shelf, they are cooking really, really well. Unfortunately, you've got like that sort of cheesy trail where it's all tipped forward towards the front of the oven. Like here, there's nothing there. I mean, I'm not gonna eat this, but yeah, of course, look, no one needs to know. We can push that back, great. Okay, we had a bit of a moment there. It did tilt forward, but I filmed that enough now. Pushed it back, but at the same time, look, that top one is done. It's so fiddly. Look, I don't want to move it round. The second one now becomes naturally the top shelf anyway, so I'm not even going to move it. The meatballs are wondering what the heck's going on. They've been on quite the journey, but I think we've done it. Now that is actually, I say that's actually easier to carry it off of the shelf because it was just sliding forward. Just put the frame, it's just like there. But, I mean, those meatballs are proper cooked through now. And that final pizza, all the incidents aside, this pizza still took nearly half an hour, almost double its recommended cooking time. But hopefully you'll agree it looks all right. Butter be good. That is a handheld butter churner made by a company that are very well known for jam jars. It's one of their stereotypical ones, actually. But the top of it has this whisk with a handle with these old school cogs on the top to be able to make your own homemade butter. Now, to do that, 3 hours ago when I first started this video, I got some pots of cream. This is double cream, aka heavy cream, but apparently whipping cream is good. It needs to be ones with good fat particles in it. But we've seen this before on a hack, how you can sort of shake up in a tub cream and basically over time make butter. This looks far more fun. So basically we're just agitating sticky fat to join together in harmony to create butter. Okay, so this has got no thread on it. You just have these clamps that press down and seal into place. So we just start turning like this. Oh wow, this is fun! And apparently in a few minutes, we might start to see it going foamy. After 8 to 10 minutes, which is the stage I think I'm at after like 2, the cream will turn very thick. Keep turning, you are nearly there. After 10 to 12 minutes, you'll find that the handle is hard to turn, and then suddenly it loosens and becomes easier. Right, let's see if we get to that step. Well, it's been about 5 minutes more, and maybe I don't know my own strength, and I'm not even right-handed, baby. But like, it suddenly just went really, it didn't go much thicker, but it has gone really thin. And definitely paler in colour. It looks like it's more fluid. You'll look inside your jar and you will see cream has turned pale yellow and has separated to form butter and buttermilk. Apparently this should be it. Ooh, can you see that in there? There's definitely a mix of two things going on. I can see milk and curds. I think we've done it, you know. Yeah, it still smells like cream. Right, so it says to carefully pour the buttermilk. Oh, into a drinking glass. I mean, it's saying that we're left with buttermilk, but buttermilk to me is normally, I mean, a hack if you can't get buttermilk is to just get milk and put a little bit of lemon in it. So do they add acidity to it? Because that's just cream, isn't it? I'm literally Butterfingers in every sense. Right, I really did not think I'd be doing this. There is our butter. So it's gone into a bowl of water. We add ice water if we want to help the rinsing process. Are we making cheese? With clean hands, we squeeze, okay, any of the buttermilk out. Oh my gosh, I have to do a total follow-up video on this. This is reminding me of making mozzarella slightly, and that is 100% butter. That is so slippy and greasy. Oh my word, this is brilliant. Actually, part of me is like, is it cheaper to buy cream versus butter? Do you know what? I think butter is really expensive at the moment. Not that cream isn't. But look, we get that into a block like that. And with every squeeze, some buttermilk is coming out. And I guess it's going to be all right if we have a little bit left over. Oh my word. That's our butterball. That's amazing. Well, that's really fun. And they look awful. But then when you press together, this is so slippy, they do combine. Looks like a big old buttery tennis ball, doesn't it? Right, I've got to try and turn the camera off. Oh, that doesn't taste like skim milk. That tastes blooming nice. Okay, so that's 100 grams. So from 300 millilitres of double cream, granted I might have been able to get another 10% out, we got roughly 100 grams of butter. So we're going to put that in the fridge temporarily, and for my final gadget, I only need 40 grams of butter. So let's quickly make the chili lime one. This is what we're really excited for butter making. I don't know if that's really sad. So I guess that's classed as unsalted butter, but we can salt it. And this is where we can do what we like. So the chili lime one has a shimmy of chili flakes on there. Lime zest. And it also says to put in a little trickle of lime juice itself. Bloomin' love a lime. I think it gets outshone by lemon way too much. So we should do like team lime. Oh wow, that smells amazing. Now, the other day, we did a video where you sent in your weird food combos, and one of them was butter on Weetabix, and I liked it. So, homemade chili lime butter on a Weetabix. Whoa, so fresh. That is gorgeous. It keeps in the fridge, apparently, for up to 2 weeks. That was really cool. I really want to see some fat. Oh, that's brilliant. A rhubarb duck maker. Feels like an urn. What a great bit of kit. Hello, hope you're good. Our first kitchen gadget today is this portable sealing machine. Electric mason jar vacuum sealing machine can meet all of your vacuum sealing needs. I don't really have that many needs for that, but you do when you make jam, which is what we're gonna do first of all. So yeah, welcome to Kitchen Gadget Testing. Remember, I've done loads and loads of videos like this over the years. Check the playlist out if you wish at the end. Remember, before commenting down below, some of these things can actually help people with disadvantages in the kitchen and even be life-changing. Others can be pretty novelty and pathetic, but we'll come on to that. So this is basically it. It looks like some sort of bottle cap remover. I've got one like that where you plunge it down. Very simple power button, USB-C charging. Look at that, they've got no expense spared there. That is a massive cable. And then in here, oh that's quite good because you can seal by the jars that you wish. I mean, that's it will just fall off. So hopefully this machine, which we're gonna charge now, by the fake plant and my spare battery charging up, we are going to plug this in this saucepan. Jam sugar, it's got pectin in it. This is kind of like this cheap thing that I like to do where you get a bag of frozen fruit from the supermarket. So if we just mix this all around, add in the juice of a lemon, and this is, oh there you go, you can see the temperature just about, it's just about to hit the jam setting. Oh, you lovely thing. It looks blooming gorgeous, but it's very angry, so we'll leave it for a little bit. If you're interested how you normally seal a jar, what you would do with these is you would put the cap on, and that's what the Gadget's gonna help press down, this bit here. You'd put your filling in there, screw that on, and then you would submerge it in boiling water, bringing it to a boil for about half an hour, and that change in pressure whilst it does that actually fuses that cap on there. But this thing, which is now on 100% charge, should make it completely hassle-free. Like I say, it's a little hot right now, so let's move on to the next gadget. Now, whilst I'm very excited for that, I think this could be my favourite one today. This is basically a silpat. However, it's got a pyramid Egypt-inspired texture on it. On the reverse is actually the inverse of pyramids that you can use as a mould too, but it's actually quite multifunctional. So much so that I want to show you two different things with it. So this is silicone and heat proof to very high temperatures, but it is these pyramid grooves, these peaks, that allow food to sit on it so that fat can drain away and actually cook things healthier. So here's some fatty food. So I'm just gonna pierce them slightly to see if that will help get a little bit more fat out. Really want to see some fat. However, it's got some other uses and that's what impresses me. Some people said like you can make dog biscuits on here, you could make tiny little cookies. So I've just melted up some dark chocolate. I wouldn't go out and buy it for this purpose alone, but it's just like a little bonus thing that it can do. So yeah, that'll do. And we'll get them set in the fridge. Okay, so with the oven on, we might as well make the most of it. The sausages need a little bit more time before adding some bacon in too, but we can also add in there this stasher. I actually bought a stasher when I went to a kitchen gadget shop in Amsterdam when I was there for a wedding anniversary of Mrs. B. This to me is like a little bit like a silicone pencil case for your food. And there are other things like that. There's ones that we've seen before for preserving avocados and things like that. However, this one, and I don't think those ones were, can go in the oven. The silicone storage bag you can cook in. That looks like some USB cables, but we're not cooking those. Non-toxic, durable, and can take the heat. Save money and save the planet. One stasher can be used thousands of times. I like that. The only thing you don't want to do in terms of it being like a pencil case is actually seal it because it could probably explode. So we'll give this a wash, but look, they had other colors, but I had to go for pink, didn't I? And I've got some salmon here. Can we get that? Oh yes, look at that. That's an amazing prank to play on someone. Well, one of my friends once got a fish posted like down between the partition in his walls. It stank. I think he upset someone. I don't know. I'm not going there, but... And isn't there like a one where you put like fish in someone's car or something, exhaust or... Yeah, I'm not asking you to do that. Put it in a silicone pencil case. That's what we're doing. So, although I want to close this together, there we go, we can do it there. We don't do it when we're cooking in it to allow it to vent a little bit. Right then, let's go in the oven with the sausages. Sorry, can you tell I'm going slightly bonkers? I might be on a sugar high from that jam. Okay, pencil case. And as one thing goes in, those sausages are good. Oh, I don't know if you can see the fatty trails. Let me just roll the... Oh yes, look. In fact, where they've sat there for quite a while, that's where those black char marks are. They've started to cook themselves, but there is a lot of fat there. All right, I've been trying to buy some of like the more leaner bacon when we've been having it recently, but this has got quite a good ratio of fat on there. And back in that goes, alongside a pencil case, of course. Let's just see what happens here. Oh, look! Oh, that's brilliant. If I stack them all together, we could make a mini Toblerone. Well, that's little chocolates. We had a Gadget recently, the mini ice cube tray, where they were even smaller than that. That could actually fulfill that role. I knew I was gonna like this. One downside to it, trying to wash the chocolate out of the grooves was not ideal, and I need this now. We lay it down, pyramid side up, and should take the weight of this tray. Yep. Hello, I'm back. Just getting it out is going to be slightly harder. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay, that wasn't the neatest. Oh, that smells. Doesn't taste a pencil case. That's a good thing. I think I could have picked a nicer smelling one. However, I'm going to wash that up because I want to use it in the microwave for some rice for a fun gadget we've got after this. Oh, hang on, I think the sausages are ready. Let's do the test with this one. Can you support your mate? Remember, we've cut this up, so it would be the whole thing that's already in there that's being used to cook the sausages and bacon. Make sense? Oh. Yep, that is working. Look at all of that fat in those grooves. That is unbelievable, but also something that I don't want to see. I know it's good that we've got rid of it, but it's like, it's kind of put me off wanting to eat it, which of course I'm still going to do. But our stacker is back. Remember, we could actually let that salmon cool to room temperature, seal it together, place it in the fridge, and that is literally the whole thing. It's been cooked in it, stored in it, and I guess you can have a fork and eat straight out of it. Here's a packet of microwave rice. Stick that in there. Okay, we'll make this work. And if you're wondering the sort of rice it is, it's the one that likes sleeping all day. That's right, it's pilau. And normally with microwave rice, you would just sort of fluff it up with a fork in the tub that we've just seen. But now it's in the stacker, we can actually get it in there and just push it with our fingers and thumbs a little bit to loosen it up. And it only cooks in a minute. Again, make sure the vent is open, and that's it. 1 minute, because we're gonna be putting it in this. A rhubarb duck maker. I don't know why it's got rhubarb on it. It's basically got a cap here and a little pushy thing this way. Now again, you can make eggs with it apparently. You can make cookies with it as a stamper. But also, and this is the budget version because you can get one with handles, it can mold rice. Which is why our rice is gonna go straight in here. It's yellow colored, so let's make a rice duck. That's literally it. I can see the steam coming off of that, wow. Well, the stacker's done for the day, but actually, to be fair, I'm really impressed with that. That has got a lot of potential, different shapes and sizes, multi-use, reusable, good for the environment. Ticks a lot of boxes, right? And you probably could use it as a pencil case too. But what I believe you do, this was literally £1 on wish.com, by the way. So I'm just loading it up. And rice is brilliant for this. So we've got that movable bit there. And I only really want to do this the once. I don't really want to have ducks forever. But I imagine we just push this in like so. Just let it kind of mold it. Okay, this is the moment of truth. We should be able to lift this, just push the duck slightly. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's amazing. We've made a rice duck. It's so fragile. I don't know if I want to turn it over, but look. Oh, my gosh. Well, there you go. That was a rice duck. But let's have a look at the sausages and the bacon here. It's cooled down slightly. But look at all that in the grooves. Oh, wow. If it's a mental thing, but it does actually taste less fatty. I mean, obviously we got a lot out of it. But when you cook them anyway, generally you would pierce them with a fork if you're baking them. Frying them in oil in a pan, you wouldn't escape from that. I've had this in my house for years and I'm really impressed with it. Awesome. All right, this one before we're finishing with a fairly dangerous one, and of course we still need to seal our jam jar. This by Dartington is called the Chop Box. It's basically a multifunctional push down chopper thing. We've seen many different versions of this before. It's only got 2 interchangeable blades on it, so you can wedge but then also grid, so you can potentially make chips, and then if you go again you could make cubes. So I think we'll just use a potato on that to maybe showcase all 3 things. So yeah, I actually found this in TK Maxx. I think that's called TJ Maxx and TB Maxx or whatever in different countries, because they tend to have, and we've seen this on previous gadget videos, the most random kitchen gadgets ever that you can never really get again. They just disappear. So this was actually in like the state that it came from. The box was damaged. It was a reduced to clear thing. So I don't know if it'll be possible to get it again. So it might end up being a bit of an antique. We'll take out the outer box for the moment. There's the blade there, and you can see it will line up. You push it down onto that straight there. But of course, if you don't want the wedges, we can take this out. And here is the grid one as well. So the grid blade with its own corresponding thing. So basically the food will get pushed by here through there, perfectly flush all the way through. And they're actually quite thin. Once you've done it, if you want, you can actually just take this outer case off and have the food on a tray. So fairly simple, a little dangerous though. I'll give it a wash and let's get some spuds. And in fact, I can see they are very sharp blades, to be fair. Don't want to be mucking about with this. So a potato, and it's told me to cut a flat side so it can bite into the blades. So we'll just get this, lock that on, and hopefully, yeah, we've just wedged. And don't get me wrong, we've seen things like this before, but I quite like the simplicity of that. I mean, the one thing I don't like so far is that, I mean, it's all solidly built, and that, again, that will sit on there nicely. It's just knowing that you've lined up this grid, because you're up here now, and like, if you're slightly out, then, look, because my hands want to come down now. Oh gosh, see, now I want to put some force behind that, but if I get like, like it actually says in the manual, do it fast. If I get too excited, I could press my finger into those blades. So just to one side, I've just sliced a little bit off of it either side and just taken a bit of height out. But I'm a bit worried about this. Yeah, there you go, that did it. But there was still that fear of my finger possibly while I was like really getting rough with it, like tucking under. But oh, look at that. They are some chips. I mean, I had to make them smaller because I reduced the height of the potato. But do you see what I mean? Now I've got a much lower height on it. I feel much more confident because it's like here rather than a potato like all the way up there. Okay, all right, that's pretty cool. We've seen these things before. I think in a way that was probably discontinued or very hard to get because although it looks solid, there are ones, and even in my veggie prep kit, where you've just got a lot more like leverage with it. Yeah, like on my prep kit, loads of you guys are asking for more of these. I'm trying to redesign it, all right, so bear with me. Nothing wrong with it compared to that thing, but look, you've got that grid again, and just having that sort of like leverage to push down, where you can really get the weight behind it away from blades. I think it's slightly better than the Posh Dartington thing, sorry. This last one I am actually quite scared of. In this box is something called an oil filler pot. I think they have various different names, but it's essentially a tool where you can fry food in it safely to help strain off your oil, safely being an interesting word, and it sits on your hob. Now, I hate frying. I recently did the air fryer versus fryer video, and Tuck, my little budget cube one that I got from a supermarket, is absolutely perfect because you can control the temperatures. This is a bit more rustic in that you basically just have this metal pot. Feels like an urn. I feel like Paul Bearer. And a few of you sent me links to this, so I thought, you know what, I'll get it. You've got a lid. You've got this strainer thing which can collect and sieve off the oil. And you've got a fryer basket. So yes, this thing sits on the hob. You should only half fill it with oil to allow for the volume increase when you drop this in and the food too. We can fry food in it, lift this out. I think we can let it rest at this angle. We can then pour the oil through here to strain it and sieve it to use it another day. So we've got some potato wedges to fry. I've got some onion rings in the freezer. Ooh, actually in that air fryer versus fryer video, I did some fried chicken that had panko breadcrumbs on. I got some left over because the panko could definitely fall off and then we'd need to strain it. Yeah, I'm scared. But a lot of you guys said these were pretty good. Ooh. So giving this a wash and a thorough dry, I think this is a 2 litre jug. So I've got 1 litre of oil here. So obviously in a bit, this is where our thermometer will come in, where we used this earlier for the jam. 190C on there. I mean, we could get away with a little lower, is what we want to warm this to. And I think for me, the thing that freaks me out generally about frying, particularly like when I use a wok or something like that in previous videos, you can see how I've turned the handle there. I hate the idea, particularly when you're using a camera, of like potentially walking past and spilling hot oil all over yourself. Luckily, I'm very well prepared wearing t-shirt and shorts today. But that's it, we're gonna warm it up. We've got some potatoes cut. I think we'll do the onion rings first of all, and maybe those chicken strips if we need them. It might, after the first two, you might kind of get the gist and be like, Barry, be safe. Thank you for your understanding. I'm not gonna put too many in. For reference, frozen onion rings, 15 minutes in the oven, in the fryer, 2. Oh, that's quite good. And remember, because they're frozen, that might have lowered the temperature, which is why I prefer Tuck, because it will hold that temperature for you. It's looking good though. And actually, to be fair, that was way safer than I thought it would be. The other thing I don't like about it, I wish this handle kind of had like a silicone cover on it, because that, I just went to touch it, is very hot indeed. So this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to rest it at an angle like that. I really don't feel comfortable doing that because I feel like at any minute it could drop. But it seems to be holding itself. Ooh. Oh, that's amazing. There is so little grease on there. I know that's what the basket would do in a standard fryer anyway. So will it make a difference? I mean, it's cheeky, it's fried, but there's very little grease in there. Of course, that could be because the coating hasn't really got much for it to adhere to, but that's good. Oh, that's quite greasy. In fact, the outside of it is way greasier than the onion rings. Okay, if I was ever in doubt there was any oil in it, that's now proved the case. So this is some panko breaded chicken. I'm only going to put 2 pieces in because that, the way I've crumbed it, ooh, might leave some shards that are small enough to fall through the basket but still sit in the oil so we can filter it and reuse it again. Oh, brilliant. We've got floaty bits. I wanted floaty bits to show the strainer. Oh, come on. That is a beautiful colour on there. Oh, do you know what? A cheeky bit of our jam on there. That is hot. And remarkably, just draining it off like that, that did not taste greasy at all. The main difference between this chicken and the one used in a deep fat fry video is this chicken is skinless, so there's less oil to sort of penetrate into the skin, let alone the panko too, and I think it's just giving it a much nicer crunch. Okay, so here is our fine oil filter. Basically a tiny sieve. Now you could do this into another jug, into a wok, or into this pan. I'm actually using this basket as well as kind of like a secondary sieve. But to be honest, if it gets through this, it's definitely going to get through that. But here we go. As I carefully pour this through, I've got a tea towel holding the handle. So that is sieving, and hopefully in a minute should get, there we go. You can see that, look, that is really, really hot. How much it has caught. So that oil down there is clear and clean and filtered. So we could reuse it if we wish to fry up the chips that we've just made, make some more onion rings. Just basically don't keep frying those crumbs from the panko, because eventually it will just go black and start to break down into your oil. So when you're frying something else clean, you might get all these specky burnt bits in it. I'm not going to do the chips. I think we've sort of shown that that works. I want to kind of let that cool down now. But there is one more thing we haven't done. But yeah, let's do this. Okay, so the instructions say, put the food into the mason jar and cover it with the iron lid. Actually, the jam on there is so sticky that that's actually holding it down quite well. Like I say, remember, we could actually just boil this and do it old school. Align the electric mason jar sealer with the mouth of the rectangular mouth mason jar and press down horizontally into place. Ooh, that made a bit of a weird noise, like a beepy noise. Click the button and the electric mason jar sealer starts to vacuum. Oh, you can hoover the house if you want, mate. The display area will display the working time. 20 seconds or more is recommended. Right, shall we jolly well give it a go? Oh. It has got a counter on it. Can you see that? It's quite hard to see. It's quite faint. 15. I'll give it 25. Ooh, it stopped anyway. And I heard the... And it just said 99%, so I can make way more jars if I want. But if you're the sort of person that like makes jam for a living, what a fun job, and they do exist. Like, what an awesome thing if this has worked. It's going to really preserve some of your time, isn't it? Oh, right, so that's on there. Oh my gosh. That is proper wedged. That's amazing. What a great bit of kit. I mean, I guess I want to try and get it off to make sure we've not completely put it on there permanently. And one other thing that came with it is literally a bottle opener. So is this it? Is this going to help us? Oh. We popped the seal, and yes, we could have done the standard sealing, but in the words of Seal, we're never going to survive unless we get a little crazy with that pretty funky gadget. I mean, it is massive, but generally, if you're really into preserving, that is a fantastically useful tool. Another batch of kitchen gadgets put to the test. My favourite one today, I mean, despite this, has got to be our fatty pyramid tray thing, which was so multi-purpose. Although I liked the pencil case too. I liked all of them. The duck was quackers.